Mr. Satvir Singh, Director of Studies, National Council of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. Mr. Abdullah Ahmed, COO, International Institute of Hotel Management, IIHM Group. Mr. Arun Singh, Director, FHRAI-IHM, Greater Noida. Can we have a round of applause, please? Mr. Manohar Sajnani, Dean, Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism, Amity University, Noida. Mr. Rajiv Mishra, Dean and Professor, School of Hospitality and Tourism, Galgotias University, Greater Noida. We also have Mr. Pushkar Singh Negi, Assistant Professor, Facilities and Hygiene Management, Delhi Skill and Entrepreneurship University. Our moderator for today, Mr. Sarish Bhattacharya. Sarish, please take this forward. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I see a lot of young students here. So it's good. I think please applaud for professors who are not from your institution, okay? So one big round of applause for all the panelists. Yeah. I'm watching those who are not applauding. They won't get their certificates this year, okay? So anyway, you know, we are talking about an issue which is of great importance to everyone, you know, because if you attended our session yesterday, all the hotel leaders who were present yesterday were complaining about one thing, that they don't have people working for them. You know, people are leaving the hospitality industry and no one is coming in, you know, because this last 2 years were almost written off for the institutes. So they were saying that, you know, we are having a strange situation where the number of guests is going up phenomenally, but the people serving the guests are not around, you know, and we had Mr. Arun Singh there, and he gave us a very interesting statistics. He said that the IHM JEE last year attracted only 12,000, this year attracted 12,000 students, whereas last year it was 16,000. Now that's a matter of worry, you know, why are fewer young people coming into hospitality? It's an HR crisis. There were people from the HR fraternity who were present yesterday. They were all talking about the crisis in human resources, you know, and that how people coming out of IHMs are not getting into hotels, but our restaurants are getting into every industry but hotels and restaurants, you know. So it's a matter of concern because it's a hospitality fair. That's why we will talk more about the hospitality industry. I know hotel management institutes are giving jobs to their students, but you know, are the hospitality players benefiting from it? That is a big question today, you know. So we have got Mr. Satvir Singh, you know, who's from the National Council, you know. So I'll begin with you, sir, because you have a national perspective, you know, an all India perspective, which, so tell us, you know, why are fewer students today taking the JEE, you know, unlike say the past years? And there was a time when hospitality or hotel management was becoming a much sought after course. What has changed in the last 2 years?
I think everybody knows about it. What has changed? The COVID has changed the scenario. It is not only hotel management students or the entry or admission of hotel management students had reduced, but overall impact of COVID on tourism industry, hospitality industry throughout the world was there. Of course, if you have impact on hospitality industry, tourism industry, the intaker will also suffer. So we have seen this pattern of reduced number of students, and not only hospitality industry, though the worst effect of COVID was there on hospitality industry, But in other sectors also, in other areas also, the number of students were reduced. Moreover, I hope that now the things are getting better, and not this year, but next year onward, we'll start having the same number, not only same number, but we are hoping that number of students will increase, because demand in the industry is increasing.
Yeah, in fact, the good news for students is that especially those in the second and third year, or even maybe the fourth year, that there are a lot of jobs opening up in the industry. A lot of new hotels are coming up, restaurants are opening everywhere, and there's a lot of demand for young people in the hospitality industry. That is one thing, again, that was a positive side of our discussions yesterday. Mr. Singh, while we are discussing it, I just wanted to ask, what is the National Council doing? I mean, in the light of what has happened in the last 2 years, are you looking at any major syllabus change? Are you working on some new projects?
Overall, if we talk about National Education Policy 2020, so it has started 2 years back, and from that time onward, we are working on curriculum upgradation, changes. For that, we have taken the views of industry people, all the stakeholders, and we are working on upgradation of the syllabus. And this is a good chance now we are getting, because we'll have to comply with National Education Policy also, and the changing scenario for over the past 2-3 years, we have seen the change in industry also due to COVID. So we'll have to upgrade our syllabus also. We are working on that.
Mr. Singh, I was just, could you give the mic to him? Yeah, okay. Mr. Singh, you have seen both the IHM system, and you have been instrumental in setting up FHRAI-IHM, which is next door. Now, what are now that you have a greenfield project almost, in your hand, what are the innovations you have introduced in your IHM which you think can be replicated nationally?
Good afternoon, everyone. So, because time is changing, so along with the time, technology is also changing. Any institute which is going to cope up with the technological changes will be able to survive. We have been in Cornell and Lausanne. In US, the hotel management institutes are basically a business institutes. They call them, they don't call them hotel management, they call hospitality business institutes. And most of the students which have been placed there, it's a myth that only in India people are not working in the hotel. If you go to Cornell, you will find the best possible percentage of placement is in the field of the retail, or in the field of the you can say the hospital, this building and construction. Whereas the second one is the consultancy is booming in those areas also. So when students have the qualities, or they have the thing, they have the technical knowledge, practical exposure, so they are free to go any of the industry which is going to take care of them. What happened before the COVID, about 65 to 70% students were going into the hotels, whereas now about 40% of the students which are passing out from an institute like IIHM Mumbai, where I was principal for 7 years, we have about 40% to 45% students are now moving to the hotel. It's an alarming situation. Hotels are losing manpower. One, the less number of people are coming to the hotel management institute. The second thing, whoever is coming for the hotel management institute, reasonable drop is there in the terms of percentage, people who are ready to join hotel. So now the hotel industry have to come back with a new thinking, and that thinking should include 3 components. One is the salary or pay package. Other one, and most important, is the working conditions in the hotel. And the third one, which is again important, is the timely promotion or upgradation of the individual. Because we have seen people working in the hotel, left the hotel within 3 years and moved to some other industry. I have one of my friend who did hotel management just 2 years after me. He left hotel industry way back and joined the Aircel and other companies in They saw a lot of number of people who have bigger inspiration. If they are not able to get timely promotions or increase in the salary, they move to other. So in the hotel industry, in my opinion, need to think that they need to think that they should have all these points in their policy, and so that they will be in position to retain the guest. Having this fresh student or a student from the class 12th only, does not have any experience, will not work the whole industry in long term in maintaining the quality of the service, sir.
Yeah, so, in fact, for the benefit of the students, I'll again recap what was said by the hotel general managers. I don't know how many of you were present at the meeting, but they said that there is one positive which has happened because of COVID. A lot of projects which were held up in abroad, especially in West Asia and in Maldives and such countries, those projects have all opened one after another. And they're really looking for students. They're not looking for students, they're looking for people with 1, 2, maybe 5 years of experience. So hotels are emptying out, which means students have opportunities to actually work in hotels, And in fact, that brings me to Dr. Mishra. Just before we were discussing, we were discussing about a very important part of a student's curriculum, and that is industrial training or internship, And in fact, you have done a PhD on the subject, an award-winning PhD. So, Dr. Mishra, tell us a little more about what, Mr. Arun Singh raised 3 important points about what hotels should do for their young graduates who come and work for them. What do you think should hotels do to upgrade their internship programs? And how can students benefit the most from internship programs? Let Dr. Mishra speak, and then we'll ask, Satvir will ask you,
Is it audible? So first of all, namaste and very good afternoon.
Dr. Mishra, just close your mouth,
Oh, yeah. So namaste and very good afternoon to all the participating delegates and dignitaries present here. I am indeed honored to be a part of this erudite academic forum wherein country's top academicians are sitting. So now coming to your question regarding internship, and thanks for reminding me that my PhD is also on internship. Sorry, Z, thank you. So what hotel needs to do, that was the question asked by you. Of course, that war is always there from the beginning between industry and academia, that students are not knowing anything, but and academia has another things to say, that our students are not treated very properly in the industry. So I don't know how to bridge this gap, but people are working. We are also working hard, and industry is also accepting the fact that these things needs to change. So
quickly, one interjection. Is there an industry academia dialogue happening? I mean, are you in touch with industry on a regular basis?
Yeah, we are, because our entire program and courses are based on industry. Without industry, we cannot exist, and of course, the vice versa. So industry has to accept that our students has to be treated in a much better manner again. So, and what is your question? Sorry, is the one second.
How can students benefit the most out of internships? Because there are a lot of students here, if they go for industrial training, what should they do to upgrade their skills?
Yeah. So being academician, I'll start with our today's topic, that is syllabus reform. So as an academician, I will urge all the participating students that already if we follow the NEP 2020, syllabus reform has already been taken place. Variety of good things are already initiated by the government for syllabus reform. Only thing, the students have to go in pace with the faculty members, and when you go to the industry, my request would be to learn the things, because basics are important. Go with right attitude and think of a niche thing in your mind and start doing mastery on that. think of a niche or specialization that is triggering you from the beginning and do mastery on that. Then only you can survive in the industry. This is the urge to all the participating students and future aspirants of hospitality. And another thing was discussed that students are not opting for hospitality jobs. So that is fine because of the human touch which we learn in hospitality. Our opportunities are endless everywhere in all the industry, in any service industry where customer service has the focus. So if you are not interested in hospitality, that is an alarming thing for all of us. But of course, the choice is yours.
Yeah,
If
that is, that is the other way of looking at it. Definitely, because look, they are coming for a job.
Yeah.
Whether they get into a hotel or they get into a retail, I mean, it's up to them, Well, Dr. Sajnani, you had some thoughts on this, and can the mic be handed over to him, please?
Thank you. It is a very important and very critical thought process because it's a two-way process. Industry expects certain set of values from our students and our students have certain set of expectations from the industry. It is for the institution like us. How do we create the bridge and we bring them close? So close that both accept each other. It's a kind of an alliance or a marriage. When the marriage is taking place on good terms, the chances of the probability of separation are bleak, minimum. Now if I take the example of my university, my institution, what do I do to satisfy the expectations of the industry and how do I fulfill the dreams of my students? What do? We bring industry regularly on our campus. These industry experts are on our advisory board when it comes to course curriculum revision. When I am revising, when I am designing, when I am developing my curriculum, industry is a partner because they are the key stakeholder and I know if they are a part of decision making, if they are part of designing and developing or reviewing of the curriculum, tomorrow when this batch of students pass out, they are carrying with them those competencies, skill sets, which are actually desired by the industry. So level of acceptance is very high and the level of separation is very low.
So that, that is what you're making them industry ready. That is
Absolutely. And let me also share. I'll take another 30 seconds to 60 seconds. We also regularly study the needs or the pulse of the industry. Rightly said by fellow colleague that industry is very dynamic. Industry is changing very fast. But how do I evolve interest in my students? How do I empower them to make decisions in the critical moments? That's very important because today's industry do not want to hire a simple executive, a simple management trainee. They want somebody who actually can make decisions, somebody who can actually take lead, take initiative. And these all call for, and then most important thing, relationship building, networking building. All these skill sets are very important for students to develop. You rightly asked, what skill sets do they imbibe? So if any student who pass out from the portal of any institution, be it a government, be it a private, if I am having those skill sets with me, believe you me, industry is welcoming each one of you with open arms.
So communications, relationship building,
networking, critical thinking, analytical thinking, and I think a very important part is when I am graduating from a college, what all attributes, values I carry with me. This is very important.
So you become like an ambassador for your college,
Yeah. So you are an ambassador of this program. And I think every student must spread a positive word about this discipline.
Right.
It should not happen that when I do this course, I tell other person, oh, diploma in hotel management or bachelor's in hotel management. No, no, it is very stagnating career. No. One should say, oh, this is a very promising career. I am enjoying my job. That kind of feeling should pass on.
So, talking about communications, Mr. Ahmed's students, from IIHM, the students are all, gentlemen next to you, yeah. So, the students are all, they're all actually doing interesting work at the fair, at the exposition. They are going and recording people, and you have got an entire Facebook page, which is sort of dedicated to IIHM. In fact, Dr. Sajnani, your students are the ones who are receiving us. In fact, I was welcomed by a student who guided me to this place. So, these are, when you're talking about networking, when you're talking about developing, skill sets, these are opportunities for you to develop skill sets. So, Mr. Ahmed, what at IIHM, what are some of the syllabus innovations you have introduced, which you feel can be replicated across the country? We have got a gentleman from the National Council. And also, secondly, talking about industry, academia interaction, you have done something, which I'm sure others must have also, but I'm aware of the fact that you have created sort of like an elite panel of all top hospitality executives, and they form like your advisory group. Can you talk about both the attributes of your institution?
Sure. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. And I represent International Institute of Hotel Management. So in reference to the academic development, I think we started this long time ago, pre-COVID, 2018, when we launched certain subjects like digital marketing, hospitality technology, entrepreneurship. Now, these are subjects that are taught by subject matter experts, and that adds on value and helps our students to be industry ready in reference to when I talk about entrepreneurship, because as a strategy, IIHM just does not prepare students only for getting jobs in hospitality, but allied industries and starting up their own businesses. So that's one bit. Digital marketing as a subject helps them stand on their feet, and today as well, we've got the entire studio of my third year students that are beaming this live on our 3.6 million people who follow us on our Facebook page. You can see Ishpi there on the sofa and the whole team that's behind this. And this is as a part of the project. It's a marked assessment of the third years where they are checked. We check their LinkedIn pages, we check their social media profiles, and they are marked. So it's a marked assessment that's given to them. So that's digital marketing, and then entrepreneurship cell. Possibly we are the only college that does hackathon exercises where students pitch their business plans. We take those top 10 business pitches to angel investors, and our entrepreneurship cell has got about 25 crores set aside for funding to our students for starting up their own businesses. This started 2018, and I think we are seeing the difference where the students are getting more confident, and they are taking their own roads and taking decisions in what they want to do. As far as, teaching strategy is concerned, IIHM focuses on, not just making sure that we bring in hospitality or hotel chains here, but our students join a lot of allied industries as well, like cloud kitchens. They join retail, they join hospitality. And now they're also joining places like healthcare and other areas. See, what's happened is that you asked this question as to why the hoteliers are worried about where the talent pool is going. I think hotel industry will have to think about the payout that is happening today, because to be honest, even this year, 2022, a very big company in India has picked up 200 of my students, where the students were flown into Mumbai with an air ticket for a final round, and the starting salary they paid is 40,000 per month. So when you're competing with that kind of money that is being paid to the student in allied industries, it is very difficult for hotels, and to be honest, they really have to compete hard to get the talent pool. Because you cannot force a student today that you only go and work in a 5-star hotel. You won't believe that there are restaurant chains, there are QSRs, there are cloud kitchens that they are paying you 3 times what a hotel is paying. So what has happened is that there has been a paradigm shift, and that's what, the vision of our chairman, Dr. Suborno Bose, who's the CEO of the brand, is to completely look at the industry from a different perspective and not just create hospitality professionals for the hotels, but for the industry where they are useful and they are picked up and they add value to wherever they go.
And so they bring the attributes of a hospitality student
Absolutely.
to whichever institution. So which brings me to Mr. Negi. It was very interesting to see that you teach facilities management, and facilities management is one area which everyone is talking about. So when a student of hospitality is entering your institution or any institution, what would you like to say about facilities management, and how would you say what are what are opportunities like these that are opening up?
Yes, sir, I will come to your point, though currently I am working with facility management subject, but I have served for a very long time in hospitality domain. I was earlier with Gadwal University for hotel management education for a fairly long time. So I would start with your first question, where the people are going, why the hotels who are offering them good jobs and they are not finding the right people. So hotel management, I see it more like a life skill subject, though the focus has been mostly on the luxury and on the culinary aspects. First, just a very good afternoon to all the learned panels here, sorry. Yes, so there is, we need to change the perceptions of the parents actually. I tell you one thing, Indian parents are very good in upbringing their kids. Their kids, if they ask, I need this pair of shoes, okay, they will give you this shirt, this fine, this and that, this bike, this cycle, they will give you all. But they are having their reservations for 2 aspects in choosing. First one is career and second one is life partner. If you say कि ठीक है वो वाली बाइक चाहिए, okay, they will give you, but उस लड़की से शादी करनी, they will say no. They have certain, okay, that's not our point of discussion today. So let's come back to the selection of career. Still, it is dominated by the parents. Students are not selecting their career themselves in most of the cases. And the COVID-19, we all know the tourism and hospitality sector. This is the hardest hit sector of the world economy because of the COVID-19. And this is sad in terms of perception of parents. It's a very sad picture, but we all have to admit that hotel management is not even among the top 10 preferences of the parents when they decide career path for their kids. This is very sad, but I'm sure all will agree to me for this. So why this is happening? We need to change that public perception, or we need to change the perception of the parents. Know how to achieve that. When we have better career avenues for the budding professionals, we have better working conditions, better financial incentives in the starting phase of their career, though means in other industries also, when the people
coming to that, the other industries is because these points have been made by the others,
Yeah, I'm
what
coming
I'm
to
saying, can we talk specifically about facilities management?
Yes,
That
yes.
is one area which was talked about even yesterday. I'm talking about it because this is one area which people are talking about. But, we don't know much about, especially because many of our audience here are students. Can you explain what it is and what is the what are the opportunities available?
Yes, sir, coming to that. So my first point is, how can we provide the better career avenues for hotel management graduates? So definitely here come the roles in setting the syllabus or modifying the syllabus. So I don't see any hotel management syllabus who has introduced courses like in detail, like hospital catering, cloud kitchen management, facilities management, and other evolving subjects. Though I am associated with Delhi Skill and Entrepreneurship University, and I admire our Vice Chancellor, Professor Niharika Bohra, for putting the facilities management course. I think ours is the first public university. Private universities are running, I think, few others. So ours is the first public university who has housed this facility management course under its umbrella. So when I saw the syllabus, they have the contents from hotel management syllabus also. So we need to include courses like facilities management, cloud kitchen I have just said, restaurant, entrepreneurship. We need to include courses or life skill courses in that, like empathy and coping up with the stress and digital literacy. And this can be done through the modification in syllabus only. Facilities management, it's having a huge scope and it's growing day by day. We see everywhere. Hotel is itself a facility. It's providing all the components of a facility management company, and we see there are a lot of corporate offices, shopping malls, residential complexes, airports, and government is modernizing all its infrastructure. So facility management is going to boom in next few years. What I see.
I think, that is going to be, that's why I was so much stressing on this, especially with airports, under the Uran scheme, the government is really pushing, air travel in small towns or underserved areas. So airports will require a whole lot of people with this skill very soon, and we don't have that many people,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes. Your point is, you have a very valid point, sir. So they will need a huge manpower, and the facility management courses are still in nascent stage, and very few universities have housed these programs in their curriculum. So why don't we include facility management electives in hotel management program, just to provide another career avenue for the hotel management graduates when they pass out? And when we will have better opportunities, definitely we will be able to change the public perception, or especially the perception of the parents when they see their kids they are getting jobs, and they are getting good jobs. They are not limited to only hotels. They have other avenues also. So definitely, facilities management can help.
Right. So, Dr. Sajnani, you had some thoughts on the subject? On these new areas that are opening up, really.
Yeah, I am wondering only on one point, which you mentioned right in the beginning, that yesterday we had a session wherein the industry had a complaint that they are not getting right set of manpower, or the manpower with the skill set they need. The point is that we should ask the industry also on the other end, what industry has done to give an ecosystem or a kind of a career, a graph. Because every other industry, when I join any other industry, they have a career plan for their employees. But our industry is still, I must say, is fragmented. It is still not so organized, highly unorganized and sector, and we don't have that kind of HR practices in place. So, these all factors demotivate any youngster. But still, I think my fellow colleague was very, very, I must say, optimistic when he said that 40% of the graduate, they remain in the industry. But recent survey says it is 61%. 61% people are staying back in the industry. A Deloitte report says that now students want to, work they want to study a course where they get freedom. They want to learn. 51% respondents or 28,000 students who were interviewed, they said we want to learn by doing. Now, how many of the institutions have that kind of a curriculum wherein we have got more than 50% of the program structure is allowing them to learn by doing. So we have to get ready for that kind of structure, syllabi, where students are given freedom. Even UGC now, the National Education Policy 2020 says that 40% of the syllabus can be covered through open platforms.
In fact, that is a very important point, because if there are so many different skills which are being offered by different universities, maybe there is a case for these skills to be available in online, or in an online format, where you have eminent professors, talking to students and, teaching them.
Absolutely, I agree, sir. Whatever value addition courses are there, they can be done through open platform, and those hardcore skill courses where they need lab practicals, even to the extent we have got virtual labs available. We have got virtual labs available today for the students of hotel management. Our students can do a lot of simulation through these virtual labs. Why not? We have the facilities available.
So, we have got Satvir, from the... You have now heard, so many thoughts being expressed. Based on these, the inputs you get, what do you see is the future of hospitality education in the country? Where, and how does it dovetail into the national education policy?
Well, now time has come when we should stop calling it as hotel management. The horizon has expanded and now it is hospitality. As fellow colleagues have said, that it is not only that they'll have to work in hotel. There are many areas, start from banking, hospital, railway, airline, as you said, airport. A lot of scope is there for facility planning, facility management. So we are also, and now the time has come where we'll have to plan short courses also. Not as 3-year degree or 4-year degree. That 3-year degree, 4-year degree is the base. Apart from that, we should be ready with small capsule courses for specific, segment specific. 3 months, 4 months, 6 month courses. After completing your course, after doing BSc, one should be ready to go for these short courses wherever you want to have expertise. Well, in National Education Policy, one more important thing is this, that we are coming up with multi-entry and exit policy. Many of our students, when they start their studies, due to some or other reason, may not be able to complete their studies. So we are giving chance. After completion of 1 year, they can exit if they have some problem. So they can exit with a certificate. 2 years, they can get diploma, or 3 years after the degree. And if somebody is interested in doing further research or want to go for PG courses or PhD courses, they can complete 4th year, which is a research-oriented program. So this is a new thing which is coming up in National Education Policy, the flexibilities of choosing duration. And one more flexibility is, it is not only the core component subjects. They can have other subjects from other streams of their choice. It is not the hotel management subjects they'll have to study. They can go for music, art, dance, etc., etc. So this
in fact,
flexibility.
One thing about NEP, sir, correct me if I'm wrong, the impression I have is that it has really opened up opportunities. Now, students are no longer bound to only take what is there on the syllabus. They can pick up subjects outside the syllabus also. Is that happening in the hotel management institutes?
Exactly. We are giving chance to all these students to have subjects of their choice. They can live their passion also, apart from getting all these skills. So skill is important, but having a subject of their choice is also important.
So, Dr. Mishra, you had a thought on...
Yes, so I am representing School of Hospitality and Tourism, Galgotias University, and I proudly say that we implemented NEP 2020 last year itself, and I do agree with all my fellow colleagues, even we have facilities management, and now I would like to discuss with my concept note. So I would like to say that imperatives and strategies needs constant change as per the need of the hour and situation. Blended learning and hybrid model of teaching learning should continue as it facilitates us in providing extra knowledge and value add-on components to students apart from regular classroom and lab settings, as said by our fellow colleague. We don't have to worry much on curriculum reform as that has already been taken care by the implementation of NEP 2020 with all-round development of students and learners. And how it is done NEP 2020 in our Galgotias University, I would like to say. So we have divided as per the direction of NEP 2020 and UP government, because we come under the jurisdiction of the state government. They have already framed a model curriculum and we have to just implement it as ditto, including the credit system. So we have done major. Major means all the operational thing, all the key areas of hospitality. Then there is something called minor or elective, wherein we can choose MOOC courses as told by our fellow colleague, or from Coursera or NPTEL or any other platform. Or any foreign languages can be part of minor or elective. Then third comes vocational stream, which is a must, and it has to be taken from certain tracks. Like suppose we are giving to hospitality students AI for managers, then in the second semester it should be AI for managers. In the next semester it should be some related subjects of IT. Again in the next semester some related IT subject, and fourth track subjects should be taken from the same track. It's not that we can just give AI for managers and close the course. A student is compulsorily...
this is like the American system, you know. I mean, whatever I remember from my days when I was a student in an American university, you know, you start with 101 and you go to 404.
Yes,
you know?
yes, exactly, in the same manner.
So, you know, like if you did communications, public relations, you sort of progress, and 404 you have to write dissertation.
Then only it will be reflected in their marks card that the person has done vocational stream along with hospitality. So, and then comes the co-curricular subjects. So I am on the fourth. First I said major, then minor or elective, then vocational, then co-curricular. In that we can take subjects like first aid, physical education, food science, and so on. And we have one more. That is the survey, field study, project-based learning or research-based learning. So we need to implement these 5 components mandatorily, compulsorily to become NEP compliant. And we have done it last year. Again, we did some reform again in the curriculum. So as an academician, our job is here to give 100% to the students, and then the industry will follow what exactly is desired out of a student.
Right. Okay, so I'll ask Mr. Singh, you know, again, coming back to the fact that yours is a greenfield project, you just have admitted your first batch of students, you know. Yep. So what are the new elements that you're going to have when you open, your first batch?
We along with the other principals of the under National Council of Hotel Management, which is the umbrella institutions, we have about 80 institutes of hotel management, central government, state government and private. So we have to be very careful. In fact, the problem with us is not to add on the knowledge. The problem is with us what to delete. We have so many things which is there from last 50 years in our syllabus. We are trying to change it, but whenever we want to change, one or other hindrance come in between. So as Professor Mishra has very clearly said, major, minor is the elective one, co-curricular, then the ability enhancement and skill enhancement along with the language. These are the component where many options has been given to the student to choose to develop their personality to improve their communication and knowledge of the subject and other areas where they are interested. They are not bound to be within the parameters of the hotel only. They can develop their personality. They can choose what area they want to go. Like when I was in IIHM Mumbai, we were giving third year a very extensive research project to the student. We find out that we tell to the student while they come to the second year that you find out the area where you want to go. Someone want to go for a consultancy. We attach them with some of the leading consultant in Mumbai, and with the help of them, they develop a small project, maybe of setting up a small coffee shop, or maybe setting up a kiosk with the market research, then the digital marketing, and then the feasibility study, everything. So we have to inculcate things in among the student. We can't expect that a student, while studying for 3 years, will be able to get each and everything within him. We have to just inculcate him. We have to see that where they want to go, and we have to give them a right kind of atmosphere. I will tell you, about 18 years back, I had one training program in IIM Bangalore. I was surprised to see that when I talked with the faculty members, they said we don't teach theory. We don't teach theory in our classes. We put our notes on our page of website, and it is expected that the student should learn, read it, learn it, and put the questions. So we will take only 6 questions of pertaining topic in our class. We don't teach them. But unfortunately, we are here in our hotel management or other thing. Teachers goes with the notes, with the books. Those days have gone. We need to have a hybrid kind of teaching, less time, maximum input so that can be given, and we should energize the brain of the person to grasp the thing up to what they want to do, develop it. I remember one of my students in IIHM Lucknow, when I was principal for 10 years, he didn't attend a single campus interview. And when we asked them, he was an excellent student, but when he asked them, he said, no, sir, I want to start my own. So that kind of perception should be there in the mind, and that person is running a company, hotel company in India, which is having about 20 hotels. And he was an alumni of IIHM Lucknow. So you need to give the certain shape to the thought in your mind, and then you have to invest these 3 years while you are in the institute, and later on in industry, go develop yourself and choose the line where you want to grow. Definitely you have a bright future. Thank you.
You know, that's I think that is a very good thought to park right now. I would ask any students, you have been listening to us, any questions that any students have, I would urge you to ask questions. Anyone who wants to ask a question? We are talking about communication skills here, so anyone wants to ask questions? Okay, now are you all listening to what is being said? Say yes or no. Louder. Okay, there's one, okay, he's a front bencher, so I guess he has to have a question. Come. Identify yourself, which institution and your name.
Sir, my name is Aniket Saxena, and I am representing International Institute of Hotel Management, New Delhi, under the guidance of our own director, Mr. Abdullah Ahmed. And I am very pleased to have you with here today. So, sir, my question for all of us is that, sir, I have been trained in Vivanta by Taj in my industrial training. Sir, it was a very hardship battle I fought. Like, basically, we were treated like nothing. Like, we were treating like they were making us do a 14 or 15-hour shift, like in each and every department. It's all the same. But when we were going to our internship, we were told us that they will treat you good, they'll follow their instructions, and we have done it all, but we were still not treated good. And in our industrial training, we are going there to learn something. But I think, in my opinion, we have not learned anything of it. We are just carrying the luggages of the guest and delivering it to their guest rooms. But what is it to learn? I want to know, because industrial training is all about a learning fact. Of a 6 months training, we have to learn something, because we have to pursue our career in this hotel management course only, right? So if we are not learning anything, so how that
I think, Aniket have made a very important point, I wish you were here and you asked this question yesterday. when the hotel managers were, because everyone complains about the way interns are treated in hotels, you know. I was wondering, Abdullah, why don't you only talk about it? You're his teacher. So I think it's a very important question. Please, let there be more questions like this, you know.
No, I think it's an important point that he has made, and possibly this is one of the reasons where hotel industry is losing talent to today. The reason why students are diverting to places like allied industries and healthcare and other, stuff and trying their own ventures like entrepreneurship, possibly is one of the reasons, because when they go in there for industrial training, they lose that charm of working in a five-star hotel. But having said this, I think this experience also varies from hotel to hotel. I would not put that all hotels train the same, because every hotel has got a different set of people that are overseeing training or industrial training for students. So it may vary from hotel to hotel. But yes, it's an important point. And this is where we, see that a lot of students, when they come back for the industrial training and they join the third year, they would like to get into things like a lot of other things that by that time they have explored that they're good in. Like, for example, event management. Now, one of the places where students love to go and work, because they travel the world, they get paid humongously well, they're treated well, they treat with, they deal with good clients. Wedding planning is another option that's come up, where a lot of my students have started going, and just 2 weddings in a month and they earn about 3.5 lakhs. Wow. So that's the kind of money I'm talking about today that we've got in Allied. And possibly this would be some part of percentile that will add to why we are losing talent from the industry.
I think Dr. Sajnani, you had a point, sort of.
We all have been students at one point of time, and we all have undergone the same experiences. But the difference lies with me as a student. How serious I was when I entered in my, first internship, first job. I said, my first job as an intern. It's a job. So how serious, how disciplined I am, and what I communicate to my trainer. My body language, what I speak, my first way of reporting is very important. How assertive I am, how inclusive, how engaging I am. How much initiative I take when it comes to group tasks. It all matters a lot. So as an intern, if I am serious to my job, if I show seriousness, believe you me, whosoever is your trainer will give you focus. And in our university, what we follow, we have a system of weekly progress report. So every student is attached to a mentor. Now there are 2 mentors, one is industry mentor, other is the faculty mentor. So the weekly progress report is online, automated. It is seen by all, by both the mentors. So they see what kind of learnings you are having. If any difficulty is experienced, the trainee shares the difficulty with the mentor. So mentor tries to counsel and resolve, so that you don't carry that, unhappiness, dissatisfaction over your next week. It matters. It gets compounded, week by week, day by day, minute by minute. So if it is resolved, the earliest it is better. But believe you me, hotel industry is ready to train us, provided if we give them what they expect from us. I mean, that's my perception.
I think, Mr. Ahmed first, Mr. Ahmed, and then Mr. Negi.
Okay, so I'll just interestingly add a point to what Aniket said. That is where you realize where the other areas of interest lie. Like, for instance, we inaugurated this IIHM Center of Tourism and Hospitality Research last year, and Honorable Secretary General Mr. Zurab Polulakishvili of UNWTO inaugurated this. So a few of my students who wanted to explore some other side of research, what you said, sir, so they started working on research, and you won't believe that the first paper they presented was on culinary medicine. It's a very, very different topic. Culinary medicine.
Medicine, no?
Culinary medicine. So they started working on it. There's a book that's been published by, a very renowned author in UK. And that book is on culinary medicine. So they presented that paper. And of course, they did not like the training, as what Aniket said. They explored. They wanted to do more research, what Mr. Mishra was also saying. So they got into research, and I was surprised to the kind of paper they presented. I mean, I was bedazzled and kind of blown away with the paper that they presented as a first paper as a part of this IIHM Center of Tourism and Hospitality Research. So, this is another option, or maybe, how you realize that there are other areas for you to explore and make way up. So, it's just advice.
Mr. Negi?
Yeah, it's a very important issue what Aniket just discussed. We talk a lot about when we want to improve or when we want to make our students ready for the industry. We advocate for the industry academia partnership or linkages. We need more and more industry engagement. But then yes, as Professor Sajnani told, this is a two-way process. Like industry has to step up, and students also needs to understand that these are the part and parcel of the industry I am in, and we have to be mentally prepared. Now coming on the industry part, they really need to understand, and I am very happy to see the industry is moving forward in this direction. Sir, I tell you, just few days back, I was attending a campus to corporate program organized by Pullman and Novotel Aerocity. Yes. So, you were also there? No? Yeah, Nita was there. So, I saw their program. This has been started by other properties also, just telling the name, Pullman or Novotel. I am not marketing them, but I am really happy the way they are thinking about our students. So, they have stopped calling trainees.
They're thinking about students because they don't have people to work,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. This is the need of the hour for them also to re-strategize their training modules. So they have stopped calling the industrial trainees, they are calling them talents. And they are treating them like their employees, they are giving them 6 monthly offs, and they have made it mandatory that their learning and development manager will hold a monthly meeting with every talent. Talent means industrial trainees, and look after and sort out the issues they are having. They have made it mandatory for their HODs to listen to the complaints and to the issues of the talents or the trainees and sort it out, and provide them every mentorship, what sir has just said. So they have made their HODs the mentor of the students and their learning and development manager. Now, how far they take it to the practice, that's another matter. But yes, industry is also looking into the matter and looking serious.
Okay, so, now we are, I don't see Radhika anywhere, and she has an, Okay, just, I know, quick, first Dr. Mishra, then Dr. Arun, Mr. Arun Singh, and the last word, Dr. Sajnani, will be yours. Okay, so, yeah, Dr. Mishra.
So, your Aniket, no?
Aniket, yeah.
More than today's topic, you gave us idea to discuss more on this platform, because the topic what you raised is very important to all of us. So there are two ways to answer your direct question. One is to blame industry, another is to encourage you. So I will choose the latter one. So what you did, and you are complaining that nothing was taught to you and you are not able to learn anything in 6 months, and you went there with lot of expectations to learn, and it was told to you in the beginning as well that lot of takeaways will be there. So I'll say that you did experiential learning, you did observational learning. Today we have called so much of our Galgotias students under this platform, and they are sitting here and listening, and they are seeing the entire premises, and we have sent them for experiential learning, observational learning. Nothing they will do, they will just observe what is happening in the entire locality today and tomorrow, and they will write a report on that. And we have even decided because I am thankful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor and our management that we might give them some weightage of marks for coming 2 days here. We might exempt some of their internal or continuous assessment component also because of coming here. So again, you will think that what they are doing, they are just visiting here and roaming around and going back. And in spite of that, we are trying to give the weightage of marks, and we are even thinking of exempting one important component of continuous assessment. So that goes to your...
You know, frankly, your students, I mean, not only yours, but Galgotias and, IIHM, they are doing marvelous, they're doing very good work. I think IIT is saving a lot of money by employing the students, you know.
Exactly,
one big applause for all the students, you know.
So please don't get disheartened, and you have learned a lot. Those are called hidden knowledge what you have done. And our industry is ever growing with lifetime validity. So nothing can stop you to grow. Don't think that you have not learned. I am 100% sure you have learned a lot in those 6 months.
Yeah, in
Maybe
fact,
you don't remember. Those are hidden knowledge which is there in your brain box all the time. And that is going to help you in your job. And that time you will realize that no, you have learned a lot. You have learned relationship skills. You have learned people management. You have learned how to communicate. And that's why today you came to this platform and asked us direct question. Of course, this question needs to be asked to the industry. But of course, we all are party because we are nurturing you. So you ask the correct persons, and we will take a call in a combined manner. I told in the beginning only that war is always happening between industry and academia. So I started very bluntly with that statement, but I saw people, then I stopped. But again, you raised the same point. So I'm concluding also with the same
I have to guillotine, though you're professors, you know. I know once professors start talking, they don't stop, you know. So I'll have to apply the guillotine. 60 seconds, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, last,
I will
Mr.
say that we cannot blame only hotels for not giving you the platform for nullering. It's all depend on you, and with the motto and ambition you had gone to the hotel. When I was a faculty 30 years back, we devised a 40-page checklist. For example, if you have been deputed in the coffee shop for 1 week, it's 2-page checklist. First of all is the location of the coffee shop. If you go to the hotel, you will find the coffee shop is always located at the central point where the guests from all other places can come. So in the same way, what kind of comfort is being given to the guest? You must have seen in a coffee shop, you are sitting for more than 20 minutes, the server will come and ask you, sir, would you like to have more coffee? He is not asking for coffee. He is reminding you in a soft way that your time is over now. Please leave this place because this place has to be sold for 4 times in 2 hours so that the revenue will come to the hotel. So in that way you have to, when you are going to the hotel, because you are a talent for the hotel. That's why when we were a student, there was a training manager. Now there is a training manager and learning and development manager, which is different from the training. Training manager will see that how many trainees are there. But if the hotel is going to have 100-room hotel is going to have 50 or 70 trainees at a time, then forget about the learning. And it's a, they will do they will use them as a casual labor.
Again, I'll have to apply the guillotine.
Right. Thank you.
We'll give it to Satvir ji, you know, he represents the National Council. So, Satvir ji, what is your takeaway from this whole discussion that we had, you know, and what can be implemented at your level?
I think he has raised a very good question, and he has reminded me of 25 years back when I was trainee and we faced the same situation. But coming over to National Council, we got a chance to change these things, and we've interacted with the training manager of hotel. And what we have done, we have prepared guidelines for the trainees. Whenever they go there, these are the guidelines, these are the departments that you should train these students under these departments. So this is there, but again, as from this forum, I'm taking it more seriously that what we can do at our National Council level and how we can improve the situations. Thank you.
So, it's very interesting. I'm sure all of you will be here. Please attend the Chefs Forum, Chefs have the biggest horror stories to talk about their days at Sreni, I know one chef who only used to make used to extract coconut milk. As a result, he's an expert in coconut milk today. He's a very famous chef, Another chef who had to make Hollandaise sauce throughout his training program, Nowadays, you don't have to do all that, because everything comes ready-made. But those days, he had to do it. These had to be done by hand, There are people who only chop potatoes and who only slice potatoes. A very famous chef, the first Indian to get a Michelin star, was talking about his days as a trainee at the Oberoi, where his job was to make tea for all the this is a maski sirs, Everyone was a mascarenas in Bombay, So, her maski sir ke liye chai banao. All that he did as a trainee was make tea for maski sir,
I think they initially judge the candidate, how serious he is. If he is serious, they start treating them seriously. Otherwise, they'll have to make tea.
In fact, the chef said that because he made tea for all the gurus, they started, because they would never let out the secrets. But in a moment of weakness, they said, "Acha, maine ye kiya, wo kiya," thinking ye to bachcha hai, ise kya pata raga. He said that then I started noting down all that thing. And today he's a Michelin star chef. He has got 15 restaurants. His name is Vineet Bhatia. So, so he was 30 years ago, he used to make tea for gurus. So, this is Ranveer Brar will tell you about his story, about how to actually carry coal, apne guru ke liye. So, the stories like this can abound. Okay, again, 30 seconds.
I'll take a little more than 30 seconds.
Okay. Nitin Nagrale is giving me glaring. His session is next.
My time starts now. In this hall, we have got 3 sets of stakeholders. Our dear students, my colleagues, faculty colleagues, teachers, and third is the industry representatives. My first request to my colleagues, faculty colleagues, teacher, fraternity members, we have to equip our students with what is needed by the industry. If my students are equipped with the right set of, sir, I'll take your first question, why there is a gap. The gap is because post-COVID, all industry is now aligning with the technology. Industry 4.0, Industry 5.0 now. We are moving to Industry 5.0. Our university was very fortunate. We introduced Industry 4.0 and its application in hospitality. Now we are transforming our curriculum, aligning with Industry 5.0. I am talking about Industry 5.0, aligning my course structure with IoT and iOS. The application of IoT and iOS in hospitality industry. If I am equipping my student with all these new technologies, believe you me, interns will earn respect. They'll command respect from the industry. And of course, from student, be serious and pick up whatever your teachers are teaching you. When I am a student in my college, I think I'll learn this from the industry. But when I'm in the industry, I feel, oh my God, this was being told by my teacher, but I was not serious. I did not pick up. So whatever teacher teaches you, please pick up seriously. From industry partners, please respect young budding managers. They are very resourceful, they are very innovative, they are very creative. They can only give you the best of help.
Now Radhika is here, so this means the ultimate guillotine, So Radhika, I give the floor to you. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen.
Radhika ma'am.
No, after.
just one line, one last yarn to all the aspiring future professionals. NEP also says, and our Sustainable Development Goal 4 also says that you all need to be a good citizen apart from becoming a great business leader. So be a good citizen and a global citizen. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for an amazing session. I'm sure students have a lot of takeaway. And just a point, Sarji, can I get 30 minutes? Being a hotel management student, I cannot resist, but I would want to share a story. During the industrial training days, it's not my personal experience, but I know someone who was asked to be on the live counter for a cafe, the 24-hour cafe in a hotel. And he was asked to make 20, a sunny side up omelette for a guest. He was not getting the right shape of the omelette, so he had to make 20 omelettes. And the 21st was the perfect one. Then he was asked to eat those 20 omelettes because he cannot waste it. So, these are the stories that you remember for your life. It's been 12 years. I'm talking about my husband, by the way. He's also an IIHM graduate. I am an IIHM graduate. So, these are the stories that you actually want to share. So, it's never that you don't learn anything. If you're carrying the, luggage, for example, Aniket, as you said, I'm sure you will be talking about, probably I had done that, but I had done that for Sonu Sood, and that was my volunteering, that I want to carry Sonu Sood's bag, So it's always a learning experience so that you can talk about it to a platform like this. So it's never that you have not learned anything. Trust me, 5 years down the line, you will realize that you've learned so much.
Talking about Sonu Sood, I met a butler at Taj one day who handled Lady Gaga's, I hope you all know about Lady Gaga. So he handled Lady Gaga's luggage and there were 20 trunks. So, but he still loved it and he was there for 24 hours, so because it was Lady Gaga. So you may be lucky, so.
So, sharing all experiences, thank you so much for being such lovely audience. Thank you panelists for sharing your experiences and encouraging students. Trust me, hospitality is a great, profession to take up to. May I please request Dadu sir to please come on stage and facilitate our panelists.
Mr. Hari Dadu.
Mr. Hari Dadu, our fair president. Can we have a round of applause, please?
The India International Hospitality Expo is his brainchild. So, Hariji, aapka.
Dadu sir, our future target audience. Mr. Satvir Singh. Mr. Pushkar Singh Negi. Mr. Abdullah Ahmed. Mr. Sajnani. Professors.
Dr. Sajnani.
Dr. Sajnani. Dr. Rajiv Mishra. Professor Arun Singh. Thank you, audience. Thank you for your time. Our next session, which will start immediately, is we are talking about the procurement as enabler for business profitability.